Hey, what's up, party people? Welcome to Honest Trailers Commentaries for Cruella, where we watch the trailer together, we talk about our behind-the-scenes thought process, we'll show you some cut jokes, we'll answer some comments and questions from people like yourselves, then we'll tease you with next week's Honest Trailer. Y'all know the drill. Hey, Danielle. Hey, Lon. Hi.
Hey,
Hello.
everybody.
Hey, happy Tuesday. We're going to talk about a film that, I don't know, it's only like 3 weeks old, but I feel like it was a lifetime ago. Cruella.
Yeah.
A film that I think has been I don't want to say unfairly maligned, but a movie I would have enjoyed had it been 30 minutes shorter, which I find myself saying a lot these days. Maybe I'm just getting old. But this is a film that I had fun with. I liked Emma Stone's performance. I like the setting of it. I like a punkish, pre-punk 1970s London setting. I think they pulled that off well. I liked 99 out of 134 of the music cues that they dropped in,
Yeah.
which is a good
lot.
ratio.
A lot of needle drops. Yeah.
And I think that they had that it was a coward's way out to avoid the way they avoided the puppy killing or subverted or whatever. But we'll get into that later. But I liked most of this movie. What say ye, Danielle, Lon? What do you think about this film?
Yeah, I feel like I gotta say I co-sign with you. I really like the setting. I liked the needle drops, and I do think that they kind of had, as far as the coward's way out, like they had an impossible task. You have to take the puppy killy lady and make her someone that you want to root for through the power of fashion. Um, and that's a really hard thing to do. And I think that for me, at least, they pulled it off. I thought that it was a fun movie. And, if we're talking about sequels, I'd be very interested to see if they decide to do a sequel, like where that's going to wind up going.
Well, Lon, I have a
Yeah.
response to that, but Lon, what's your take?
I think my issues here are almost all conceptual. Like the execution, I was almost entirely fine with. I thought Emma Thompson was great. I thought Paul Walker Hauser was super good and really funny. I had a lot of fun watching the movie. I agree, it's way too long. I agree, the needle drops are like, I would have really liked it if they zeroed in on the era, like really give you that 70s London early punk vibe, and they're all over the place. Like they'll pick any song from the 60s or 70s. Doesn't even have to be from England. They're like, good enough. And it just becomes a hodgepodge. So, but overall, I thought it was like a fun movie that I enjoyed watching. I wish a movie like this didn't have to be tied into the 101 Dalmatian verse. Like, I wish you could just make a movie about a rivalry in London fashion in the 70s and do all the fun stuff they wanted to do. And they just didn't need it to be about the crazy old lady from that cartoon, because that stuff is just, it's weird. And I don't understand why all of our stories have to do that and can't just stand on their own. I get that it's marketing.
Baby. Yeah, marketing. Get that IP.
I do understand it from a practical perspective. It's just a lament. Like, I wish that we just gave filmmakers like this the freedom to make stories in worlds of their own creation instead of having to worry about like, oh, what fashion character do we tie this into? It's just like, that's the stuff that works the least well and is the least interesting to me.
If it was to be tied into any franchise or any recognizable thing, this makes way more sense as a Devil Wears Prada sort of Highlander-ish prequel, where like this fashion rivalry has been going on for ages, and they just until one of them cuts the other one's head off with some fabric shears, they have to.
But like even that, what you're now pitching, like a world of like endless fashion rivalries for supremacy. Like I already like that more than putting it in the world of 101 Dalmatians.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I say circling back to what Danielle said of like, you like how they kind of had their cake and eat it too. I mean, it didn't ruin the movie for me, but I do think that like, and also like Lon said, like it's a conceptual failure, because if there's one thing you know about Cruella de Vil, it's that she wants to make clothing out of dead dog skin. That's the one thing you know about her, if you know one thing. And the way they handle that is like, here's a movie about her, and it's going to be like, okay, we're doing it. We're going to make you sympathize with her. We're going to get you to understand her perspective. And like, but actually she doesn't want to kill dogs. In fact, she loves dogs, idiot. It's like, well, that's you You just dodged the whole
that's
thing.
not even the story now. Have you gone back?
That's why I'm interested in seeing what a sequel would be, because we know we're never going to get to the dog murder. Like, how do we do?
When do we get to the dog murder factory?
No, if 101 Dalmatians, like if the sequel to Cruella leads into that, it's obviously they're going to have to go a totally we're in an alt universe now.
We're like, totally up, because they already had I feel like there must have been a draft where she does hate Dalmatians because they killed her mother, her adoptive mother. That's the setup for somebody who wants revenge on that particular dog breed, right? Like, which is insane and probably the dumbest thing about it.
But even that doesn't. I went back last week and watched 101 Dalmatians on Disney Plus, which I had not seen in many years. And like, it's very explicit in the movie. She likes the way Dalmatians look, and she's just a sociopath. So that it clearly is not, she has a grudge against Dalmatians. It's purely a fashion decision from Cruella's part. She's really not a character. She's in like 3 scenes and she's just a maniac. Like she's purely maniacal and lives only to kill. Also, it's made pretty clear that Horace and Jasper are not her lifelong friends. They are 2 dudes she has hired for this assignment and does not really know or care.
Is there such a thing as real Dalmatian coats, or is that like an invention of?
Wait, you mean made out of actual dogs, or just patterned that way?
No, for real. Like, I'm talking like in the last 100 years when there weren't so many scruples about animal products. No?
I think it's just from this. It's a book. 101 Dalmatians was a children's book that Disney adapted.
Yeah, but it's all based on, Brothers Grimm and who knows.
It's based on a real story.
This isn't a true story?
There's also a whole chunk in the middle part where it's just like dogs communicating with one another across the entire English countryside. Right. So I don't think it's based on a true story.
Says you.
Unless they've figured out like that Lord of the Rings, like light the fire and alert the, Gondor.
As a member of the Druid community, this is based on our lore. Anyways, let's watch the honest trailer for Cruella, and we'll stop and start.
Since 1999, we've had quasi-redemptive villain origin stories for Darth Vader, the Joker, Maleficent, the Wizard of Oz, Hannibal Lecter, Nurse Ratched, Norman Bates, Magneto, Saul Goodman, Godzilla, the apes from Planet of the Apes, Venom, and the Minions. But now, before we get the quasi-redemptive villain origin stories for Gru, the Wicked Witch of the West, the Targaryens, the bad guy from RoboCop, the orphan from the Orphan movie, and Medea. Make room in your wallet for one more Vilquel.
Pause. What's your guys' favorite or most anticipated out of the list?
I want to see the Medea movie. I'm not gonna lie.
Medea Origins.
We left it out, but Wonka Origins with Timothy Chalamet.
Oh, how did I forget that? But because it's like
he's not a villain. He's like, we had pitched it, but then we were like, he's not quite villainous enough. Yeah. But I am excited to see what they do with Industrial Revolution set young Willy Wonka adventures. What
I do kind of want it sounds like the dumbest and least necessary, but kind of a fun premise is to watch Dick Jones rise through the ranks of
OCP,
OCP in like a fake 80s Detroit.
I mean, I watch, like, that's the thing is, like, I feel like a total hypocrite because I watch all this stuff. Like, they know that they have me. It's not like I'm immune to it.
I know they have us because it's because they called it Cruella. Frankly, if they called it Estella, we'd probably, I don't know.
Well, but that's what I mean,
we would have watched it.
I would want to watch it. I get that it's like a marketing thing for the man, but like I think those original stories can still be interesting.
Yeah, I would have watched it if it was called Zero Dalmatians. If it was called Zero Dalmatians, then I definitely would have been into it.
No Dalmatians were harmed in the making of this film. I'd watched, be like, well, weird. Why would they say that?
Why would you open with it?
Yeah,
weird.
All right, keep going.
So cool, because here comes Cruella. You know, the dog murderer from that old cartoon with the hair. You know, the lady with the hair. Oh man, they're really out of ideas, aren't they? Meet Estella. That's right, her name is slightly different than what you expected. Deal with it. She's a fashion designer with an extra dash of tude. Don't look at that dress. Look at this dress. And why is she that way? Because Dalmatians killed her mom. Sounds stupid? It's actually her real mom that ordered the dogs to kill. Now who's stupid? Because Cruella.
We're missing a training montage with the Baroness and the Dalmatians where they're like practicing that over and over again because it's a jump kick. That Dalmatian is like trained only to push people off cliffs.
It's also she gets lucky. Like the woman has to be waiting on her own right on that balcony right
that's what
over
I'm saying.
the cliff where it doesn't even work.
She has to hit her mark. Yeah, that's where she takes everyone out for the big reveal heart-to-hearts that she has semi-regularly. Any rival fashion designer.
Just poison people.
Yeah, can you there's an X right here if you don't mind. And then also not lose any of the Dalmatians either.
I know, like, if somebody, like, I would probably try to catch a dog that jumped on me or in some way become entangled, but obviously she doesn't. I'm sure she's burned through 101 Dalmatians just learning that. It's like Milo and Otis over there. All right, keep going.
Because Cruella isn't just a misunderstood villain. She's actually the reason 101 Dalmatians exist in the first place. Yep, the dog parents were brother and sister, and Cruella helped them hook up. Wait, where are you going? Come on, Dalmatian incest isn't weird. How do you think we got Dalmatians in the first place? And don't you want to know the story of her last name? Spoilers, it's a car. Hello?
Yeah, pause. That was like you said, Lon, that was some of the least necessary and least enjoyable parts of the film. I don't need to know that it came
doesn't
from
add anything. It's just like the filmmakers like sitting next to you, like elbowing you in the ribs. Like I get it.
It's like
that's
the
not
worst
a real last name.
Of like Solo and all these films where they think that what you're there to do is to learn where like the ephemera and the like little accoutrements of their life came from. It's like Han Solo just bought a vest one time. He thought it looked good. Cruella de Vil, it's clearly like a pseudonym that she thought sounded cool. It's like just a cool fashion name that she picked. That, anyways, dumb.
If you ever feel the need to add why they got their name, you can just go ahead and cut it.
Yeah, you don't ever. Well, in Star Wars, it's particularly like at least this is in London where Cruella de Vil stands out as a weird name. Han Solo's a normal name in the Star Wars universe. Everybody's got a crazy
Everyone's
name.
name's like Bomp Grumple.
Bomb Forba or whatever. Like, who cares? I mean, to explain anybody's name in a world where everybody's
Newt
name is
Sido,
like Dexter Jetster. Idiots.
Blumph Humpkin, you can be Han Solo without describing it.
That doesn't. Nobody's name mean anything. It's Star Wars. That guy's named Chewbacca. Get out of here.
It's weird that there's a guy named Owen. That's the weird thing.
It is. When there is a person in the Star Wars universe with a regular name, it stands out. It's like, oh,
Luke.
Yeah, right. Like, oh,
yeah.
Mormons? Fancy that up a bit.
All right, keep going.
Get ready for a kids movie that appeals to everyone from adults who love Emma Stone to adults who love Emma Thompson in the world's first reimagined period satirical coming-of-age revenge heist comedy drama. Thriller. That's also a prequel. Journey to 1970s London, where no one is chain-smoking cigarettes like it's 1970s London. For a film where the costumes
that's the second thing I know about Cruella de Vil is she had that long cigarette holder, but it's like, you can threaten to kill a dog, can't smoke while you do it.
Yeah.
Just like Batman can't. Anyways, keep going. Keep playing.
Emin's London.
Yes.
For a film where
that's what the whole cutout in the mouth is
character work. As Estella grows from a girl in a hat with bangs and glasses. Ew.
To Magatu in his derelict phase.
To Catwoman on Laundry Day. Because this film isn't so much about telling a story as it is an elaborate excuse for two fashionistas to dress fight each other. Finish her. Cruella, along for the ride are Horace and Jasper. More than just two hired henchmen, they're her lifelong hench family. Follow this tight-knit crew of thieves, even though their dogs do all of the work for them.
Yeah, pause. I guess if we're talking execution, this is one more thing I point out. There are a few like repeated beats, like how the needle drops kind of grow tiresome after a while. Like their dogs are so well trained that they pull off the whole heist is like we hit that beat like 4 times and like twice would have been
There's a lot of like you could cut out several of the heists in general, or I think you noted each one. There are 4 car chases in this movie.
Yes, there are.
Like, and we say that it's for adults who love Emma Stone, adults who love Emma Thompson. Like, what kid is going to sit for 2 hours worth of fashion heisting?
I will say I saw this, a friend like rented out like a little theater and a bunch of us watched, and 2 people did bring children, and the kids we watched it with were like, they loved it. So maybe we're the cynical
I'll chalk that
adults.
up to the pandemic, that they were just excited.
They were just happy to be anywhere. Maybe that's true. But no, because that's what I thought. Like after like 2 hours, I started getting restless, and those kids were like,
yeah.
Tell me more about Cruella.
Yeah, maybe it is worse when you're at home because like you don't pause a movie in the theater, but I swear to God, like the last 5 movies I've watched at home, I will pause to do something, and it's like, oh, there's still an hour left. What's happening? What happened to the 90-minute feature? Come on.
Army of the Dead, I swore they were adding time. I swore every time I paused, I feel like I was further back in the movie. It's crazy.
Yeah. Home theater experience. It's different. All right, keep going.
Wait! Yeah, this is cute and all, but hire Guy Ritchie if all you really wanted to see was a dog snatch. Moving on. And then there's Artie, Disney's 3rd or 4th first live-action gay character, who after making a big PR push about representation, takes things right up to the comfort zone of your average Chinese or Russian censor.
Look around, Cinderella. I have everything a girl or boy could ever want.
Disney does know liking fashion isn't the same thing as being queer, right? Right?
Yeah, pause. I mean, I don't need to see him have sex with somebody in a children's movie. I'm just saying they keep tooting their own horn about this. And then not only do they not put it in the film, it's always like J.K. Rowling, like background info, but then they cut those parts when they're released internationally. Like they will bend over backwards to, if there's anything objectionable to play overseas. So, and if you include animated characters, like this is like the, 7th or 8th time Disney's been like,
I feel like it's
we got a gay.
Just about every new movie, they come up with somebody to be like, what about this one? That do anything for you?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like the 2 chicks who kiss in the background of Star Wars. Great.
Right.
Yeah.
Or Lena Waite's
I feel
character,
represented.
Lena Waithe from Onward, even though there's not like, it's so weird because you could obviously think of straight Disney characters who don't like have sex or even like date in the movies. We know that they like they're attracted to the opposite sex. It's the same thing. It's just like, that's all you have to do. They don't have to be like making out in the movie.
Yeah.
Right.
But
give
they
him
give
a
them
boyfriend.
the smallest cuttable and least explicit parts possible.
Well, this isn't explicit at all. He's literally just a man who likes fashion. And they were like, our work here is done. It's like, that's not what? No, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. All right, keep going.
Looming over them all is the Baroness, who's basically Cruella from the original movie. But instead of killing dogs, she kills people. Because Disney is well aware white women care more about dogs than other human lives. So put the kids to bed and settle in.
Pause. I did think that the Baroness, she's Cruella in this movie. Like she gets all this movie. If she ended that film like sharpening her dog knife, it would make more sense to have her change her name to Cruella and roll credits or something like that. Which there you go. Like there, you thought one was the Cruella, but no, it's the other. That was also that would have made more sense.
Good twist.
Yeah, and there's your twist. There, done. Now everyone's happy.
Yeah.
Must include the dog knife scene.
Sharpening my dog knife,
Sharpening my dog knife.
I like maybe she's got like a whetstone or something. Like
all right, keep going.
Long-ass kids movie, whose 2-hour runtime isn't because it's too complex, but because it takes a fun high-fashion heist concept and awkwardly marries it to the setup for a 50-year-old dog cartoon, even though everyone nostalgic for 101 Dalmatians will be dead in 10 years. Come on, let's make a new movie. Please? We promise we'll see it. Maybe. Starring the Gown Princess of Crime, Peaky Blinders.
Pause, though. I think that the Anita and Roger was also one of the more forced inclusions in there. Like, what?
they do this weird thing where like everyone's age is now flattened and everyone grew up with everyone, and it's just so weird and so unnecessary. Like they didn't need to be in the movie literally at all.
No.
It also does again violate 101 Dalmatians. The whole first 10 minutes of 101 Dalmatians is Roger's a lonely bachelor, and Pongo, his dog, is like, I'm going to find him a woman. And it is kind of weird, but that's how the story starts. But in this version, in this world, Roger and Anita already know each other. So that whole opening wouldn't even work, where they meet and fall in love.
Now it's just a dog that wants to find his sister to hook up with.
Well, I will. There are three. The Baroness owns 3 Dalmatians, and we don't know if those Dalmatians are all brother and sister. Those could be.
But they came from the same litter.
Yeah, the puppies came from the same litter.
From the same litter for sure.
Okay, I get what you're saying.
So those,
but
those
like,
Toms are related.
But are we sure they're the same litter and not 2 of Emma Thompson's Dalmatians had puppies?
Well, 2 separate, like they could be half
like
siblings.
what if, like, let's say Emma Thompson owns 3 unrelated Dalmatians, a male and 2 females. So
Okay,
the male and the female hook up. One of the females hooks up with another Dalmatian we don't see in the film.
Where's this mystery 4th Dalmatian from?
I don't know. Dogs get around in this world. There's a whole network of there's a whisper network of them that stretches across the UK. So, okay. So if there's 2 Dalmatian couples and they each had a litter, theoretically, Pongo and Perdita could have different.
It sounds like the most effed up word problem on the SATs.
Yeah, like, let's say 2 Dalmatian couples are having sex. And then,
we're going to make a full by the numbers on this and have it out on the channel in a couple of weeks.
I'm just saying, theoretically, they've left a little window open if they do want to make a case that this is a
For
good,
some forced mystery
upstanding,
stud Dalmatian.
biologically sound couple.
All right, if that helps you sleep at night, sure. Canonically, they're related. All right, keep going.
Peaky Blunders, Saving Mrs. Spanks, Iggy Stop, Kirby's Epic Yarn, and Mark's strongest as a side character. How Estella got her cruel back. You know, it's a good thing Emma Stone picked a random car on a London street with the wheel on the proper American side.
Yeah. All right.
I hope somebody got fired for that blunder.
For that Peaky Blunder.
We didn't mention it. It comes up in the starring. How weird is it that Mark Strong? There must have been more to Mark Strong's ballet character, right?
Yeah, it feels like they were like, get us a Mark Strong type, and then he was just like, I'm available.
He's like, you're too good for this, Mark Strong. Get out of here.
Yeah, it did seem like there was some cutscenes there.
He just doesn't have. It doesn't seem like he has enough. It feels like
No.
one scene's missing where we really get it. He gets to go full Mark.
Like, was
Strong.
he sleeping with the Baroness at some point? Maybe. Is he Corella's dad?
It's weird that he's there and he seems to have no problem with her, but then the moment that this opportunity opens up, he's just like betraying her after decades of service, and it's like, why?
Well, save it for Cruella. We have some cut stuff. Let's see what our deleted scenes might have been.
And travel back to an alternate version of 1970s London, where the world of high fashion is diverse. Using animal products is a ridiculous idea. But instead of killing dogs, she kills human people. So wait, who's the villain in this again? Because she can make a dress out of human skin, and I still root for her over a dog killer. Hands off my Pongo, Starring Cruella did not that bad, actually. Black and white privilege. Dress to suppress. Cruella intentions. The DeVille wears polka. The Devil's Detail. Richard Jewel Thieves. Crooks Brothers. My Best Friend Shedding. Welcome to Emma Stone's Friend Zone. Dress to Kill. Miranda Beasley. A Dame to Kill For. Don't Tell Mom the Baby's Not Dead. Friends with Puppy. Friendly Darling. He used to be a vampire, but now he's a lawyer. The Dog Father. And Alfred Savage. And Strong, not that bad actually. And Mark Strongbad. And Uncanny Ballet. All about a Ville. The truth about brats and dogs. 101 brand integrations. Orphan Fic.
If she doesn't scare you, no evil thing will.
Why is Roger writing a song about Cruella? She just gave you a puppy. Shouldn't it be about the lady who was your boss and also murdered people?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
he's
they
got
had to
weird.
describe where the song came from,
Yeah,
I guess.
I gotta give us that little tidbit. I will say, my one note to epic voice man John Bailey, who does amazing work all the time. What should have been, he used to be a vampire, but now he's a lawyer. to make the SNL connection.
That's on me. I didn't give him that.
It's
I didn't pass
Unfrozen
along that
Caveman.
direction.
It's the Unfrozen Caveman lawyer theme, folks.
Got it. All right. So we've got some live chat questions to get to. Before we do that, thank you so much for watching. Please like, please subscribe, please hit the bell so you'll never miss another Cruella Honest Trailer commentary.
Are we doing another one?
We're doing them every week, baby.
Wow, nice. I got lots to say.
Yeah. Adam Hulbert writes, would you see a Cruella versus John Wick movie since Mr. Wick fights for animal rights? I don't know if that's necessarily true, that he's a friend to animals. He is also a druid. But I do think that a real animal rights champion would not train them to kill. He wouldn't use them as weapons of war. He'd like leave the animals out of it. Because he's using those horses to kill. He's using dogs to kill. Like, come on. He's not exactly a PETA spokesman.
I feel like if you are his adversary and you've trained a dog to attack him, he will shoot your dog. It's just his dog.
Yeah. You hate to see it, but that's probably true.
I'd still see a fashion fight, though.
I would see a fashion
He is very fashionable.
He does. Just a series of mock turtlenecks.
You know who I feel like would be a good adversary for Cruella from the Wickverse would be Angelica Houston. Like, I'd like to see her ballet school of assassins against Cruella and her fashionable high school.
Or Morpheus's
the Bowery.
The Bowery.
The Bowery King.
They're definitely hiding in a garbage dress for sure.
There were like 3 of them underneath her garbage dress right there.
Yeah. All right. Evan J. Pretzer asks, what villain in all of film or TV deserves a Disney-style show from their perspective? I would not mind a show about Vader in his downtime. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, like a Vader sitcom. Like, people keep getting him out of the egg and he's annoyed. What? What do you want?
I've always felt like Doctor Doom from Marvel has a really cool, interesting, like, complex origin story we've never gotten to explore because the movie's always he's always like a hacker now or something, but like the real, like the Latverian Doctor Doom original origin would be cool to see play out.
We'll get that in
eventually we'll get it on Disney Plus.
Yeah,
I think Shang Tsung might be fun. Learn
Suck
like
your soul.
That.
Suck your soul. Someone sucked his dad's soul, and now
now
I want the whole thing narrated by Cabal. He's gonna get his soul sucked.
I want the is it the Balrog? What is that from Fantasia, from like Night on Witch Mountain or
no, that's what's that guy's name? It's the Balrog is Lord of the Rings. What's the
but he looks like a
Carnabog? Charnabog.
Yeah. Charnabog. I want him to be actually an aspiring fashion person in 1970s London until a series of mishaps and goofs send him into to become a volcano monster. All right.
He's like a boy living on the mountain who discovers a magic stone or something.
Nope. Fashion. Fashion. 1970s London fashion. AJB950 writes, do you ever get nervous / embarrassed when you release new Honest trailers?
I thought this was a sweet question.
That's very sweet. God, no. If I'm embarrassed, that means that's a bad sign. Some I feel better about than others, but then they turn out to have no bearing on how they're received. I'll be like, ooh, this one's a stinker. And then it's like, this is the best one. Or like, this one's hilarious. And they're like, not your best work. So I don't trust my own instincts, except we're all just trying to make each other laugh, right? Or do you guys get nervous?
No, it's like you said, I'm just trying to make y'all laugh. If I can get a little like, hey, then I feel good about the joke that I wrote.
Yeah, embarrassed, no, because I don't really feel like they never reflect on me personally. Like if they're come out and they're really terrible, I could be like, well, that was all Danielle. But no, I wouldn't say nervous like I'm a ball of anxiety, but there are some where I feel really good about it, and I hope that people like the Money Plane one we did recently. I was like, wow, I really hope that people like it because I liked it so much and put so much of myself into it that it would be disappointing if people didn't like it. But I think that's about as good as
I would say there's nervousness, but it's like because of things of like, did we get the egg roll ad right? It's like, or like, did we use the right music? Like, there
are we going to get flagged because we put
yeah
0.6 microseconds of a copywritten song in it?
Right?
That's,
Did we blur this?
About.
Yeah, that stuff will make us and our various bosses nervous in email threads. That's about it.
All right, I'm going to do an old-fashioned movie fight speed round here, you two. Raynard City Update Channel asks, what's the best movie, Emma?
Oh, we're talking like a real person named Emma in movies.
In movies. I guess it could be character or actor.
Emma.
Emma the movie?
Emma the movie from Jane Austen.
Okay. And Lon?
I'll say Emma Thompson. Why not?
Okay. Danielle, you get 1 minute.
1 whole minute. Okay. Emma really cares about her friends. Emma is a friend to all. Emma is incredibly popular. And popularity we know speaks to all of us in society. Emma is also a very fashionable person. She comes from fine things, and she falls in love with a person that her dad introduced her to. And we're not going to get into how or why that happened, but they fall in love, and it makes it a beautiful story. And just the way that she helps people, and she helps her friends, and she helps those who wouldn't be accepted. Damn.
All right, Lon, Emma Thompson.
Emma Thompson is not only one of like the grand dames of modern filmmaking. I mean, appearances in tons of classic roles, classic films that we all love, but also an accomplished writer, producer behind the scenes. Wrote the beloved George Michael-based holiday film Last Christmas just last year. So, I mean, vital in front of and behind the camera. You gotta respect that. Plus, like Sense and Sensibility, Dead Again, so many of these like classic, memorable films. Also, a bit part on Cheers as Frasier's ex-wife. Trivia.
Wow. I guess I forgot how short speed rounds are because you still have like 15
seconds. Oh, really?
Well, I'm just going to call it there. The audience.
Also, the one thing I was going to say about Emma, the character, is the best movie about her isn't even an adaptation directly of Emma. It's Clueless, in which she's played by Alicia Silverstone and Cher.
I was just hoping y'all would. Yeah, I was just hoping y'all would forget about Clueless. Was really.
Yeah, there you go.
Is kind of bad.
As if.
Well, audience, you be the judge. Subscribe for Lon and like for Danielle. That'll be how you know.
There you go.
Next week we'll be back for another Cruella Honest Trail commentary. Our new Tuesday slot. Standard. No, we will be back for another film. And your clue is, it's not really, I'm not going to be specific. I'm just going to say that I could not believe that we hadn't done this one already. It really slipped through the cracks.
Yeah.
So
I had the same reaction when I saw this one come through.
Righting some historical wrongs and filling in a gap. So come back next week to find out what that is. Thanks so much for watching. See you guys later. Bye-bye.